Smiley is a weird movie for me to be tackling on my channel. Usually, with these bad movies, I watch them during bad movie nights with my friends and decide that I desperately need to talk about them online, like with the case with Clownado. Or I've owned them for a long time and have wanted to discuss them in depth for a really, really long time, and I finally sit down and actually write the script to do just that, like with The Snarling. But this is a completely different case for me. You see, I was a teenager that grew up watching YouTube, which if you've been following me for a long time should be pretty obvious. And when I mean YouTube, I mean YouTubers like PewDiePie, the Fine Bros, and Shane Dawson. I know, don't make fun of me. I was 14 going on 15 in 2012 when Smiley was made, okay? At least I wasn't an Onision fan. Even I found him pretty cringe. But I also grew up watching horror movies, especially with my older brother. To be honest, at an age where I shouldn't really have been watching horror movies. And we both really loved, and currently still love, slasher movies the most. Growing up, my favourite horror movies were Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Scream. Not a lot's really changed there in my adult years. And I know that there's a debate as to whether Leatherface is even a slasher, but I'm not opening this can of worms here. I loved watching horror movies about scary slashers chasing around teenagers and murdering them. That shit was like crack to me. So when Smiley came out, I was literally the target demographic. The trailer had me stoked. I liked Shane Dawson and Tobuscus because I had bad taste. I liked slasher movies because I also had good taste. And I was legally allowed to watch it in the UK. And when the movie finally came out originally, I actually liked it. I know, but I was 15, my frontal lobe wasn't fully developed, okay? Looking back on it now, at my current age of 28, especially with everything that's come out about Shane Dawson and Tobuscus, it's pretty wince-worthy that I enjoyed this movie. Like, comparing this to some of my favourite slasher movies is just plain laughable. And trust me, I'm not some elitist who thinks that the original slashers were the only good ones. I mean, come on, Ghostface got the shit kicked out of him constantly. I mean, what a dweeb, am I right? And before anyone's like, oh, Scream isn't that old, it turns 30 next year. Yeah. Honestly, I have been waiting for a new slasher to come onto the scene and make some waves. I mean, one of my favourite slashers of all time now is Art the Clown. And the first Terrifier movie that depicts him as a hilarious, jovial murderer with a sassy attitude only came out in 2016. Like, I know that that seems old nowadays, but considering how old some of the slasher movies I listed earlier are, that's young as hell. However, Smiley as a slasher just isn't interesting. Just like the movie that he's in. But he could have been. But before we go any further with this review, hi, my name is Misa, and I love bad movies. In case you couldn't guess. And not only do I love watching bad movies, but I love talking about them and getting other people to watch them because I like making people watch the stupid shit that I like. Hence why I'm making this video. And today we're talking about Smiley. A movie that in a lot of ways could have been a pretty decent slasher movie, but ended up being a dated mess that also unfortunately includes two YouTubers that have been cancelled for pretty abhorrent alleged actions. Which I'm not going to be talking about, by the way. There's hours and hours worth of content on YouTube talking about the Tobuscus allegations and the plethora of weird shit that Shane Dawson has allegedly done. You could just go and watch those. I'm here to critique the movie, not the people in it. I will make jokes about it, however, because I am not against taking the piss out of alleged bad people. So, I'm going to have a bit of a hot take compared to a lot of the people that I've seen leaving reviews for this film, and I want to spend the video defending this take as best as I can. And that's that if this movie wasn't so dated and had a rewrite, and I mean a massive, massive rewrite, it could have actually been a decent movie. And this was during the era where a lot of YouTube movies were being made, and a lot of them, in my opinion, don't really have any redeeming qualities, but this one does. And that's the thing that's so annoying about this film compared to a lot of the movies that I've reviewed for this channel so far. It's that it had the budget and a competent enough team to potentially make something, at the very least, good. The cinematography can be good in this movie, and the acting wasn't horrendous from a lot of the cast. Not these guys, they fucking sucked.
What if this is really real?
Oh, what if nothing's real? Maybe it's the end of the Truman Show and your boat just hit the sky and you're all. Oh, what's real? I don't know.
But the script was really holding them back, and the ideas were there, but they were just mismanaged. Now, I have to accept, I am a massive horror nerd, so I can be very light on horror movies when they have potential. And I know this, I can admit it, but I can also be tough when it's deserved.
I detest the Beaster Bunny. If I'm being honest, I'm hesitant to even call this piece of human feces a movie. It's a piece of floppy shit that's been showered with sprinkles to make it look better than it is, with a flashy cover that's an absolute lie, by the way. I guess throughout this review, I'll call it something more degrading, like a product or a thing.
Yeah. So what's my reasoning for this movie having potential? Well, let's get into it. As always, spoilers ahead for the entire movie, and trigger warning for Shane Dawson. So we start this movie off with a woman who's babysitting this little girl.
I had to get your attention somehow.
God, cheap jump scares are the worst. I hate them. They are the worst thing to happen to horror. So this little girl knows what anonymous chat sites are and seems to use them quite a lot.
Oh, I love you too. Oh, I love you too. Now shut up and twerk.
Oh, whoops, that's not this movie. Hold on.
You'd be surprised.
I think that's just crazy.
That's another jump scare. What's that? 2 in less than 4 minutes of this movie? Not a good start. Hi, editing Misa here. I just realized while editing this that this guy is Nicholas from The Walking Dead. That guy who gets Glenn fake killed in season, I think, 6. Just a thing I noticed, and I couldn't not say it because I've watched so much Walking Dead and it just took me off guard when I was editing.
I'm sorry that I was late. Wanna check be okay?
Why is this shot this way? Like he's being weird and predatory. I really don't get this. So anyway, before she leaves, the little girl tells the babysitter about Smiley and the legend. And it's basically the Candyman, or Bloody Mary, but, well, cringe. You basically go into an online chat and type, "I did it for the lols," 3 times, and then Smiley will come and kill the other person that you're chatting with. Now, I'm not against the idea of a new Candyman type villain who needs to be summoned. I think the idea is interesting, since everything that happens is the result of the character's actions, rather than them being hunted for no reason. And it makes the scriptwriters have to come up with a justifiable reason for them to even do the chant in the first place. But making the saying something that people don't even say anymore and was clearly going to be old slang in 10 years' time is just not a good idea if you want your movie to stand the test of time. Like, if the saying was something like, "I need a laugh," or "I want to smile," or even just "Smiley" 3 times, it wouldn't feel so dated. That's why Bloody Mary and the Candyman both still hold up today as concepts. The sayings aren't terminally online phrases. Weirdly enough though, the little girl also told the babysitter that she could use this site to find a date, which I guess is what she decided to try and do. This guy looks pretty creepy, to be honest. But look at his facial expressions. Look at him! He looks creepy as fuck! So the creepy looking dude does the Smiley ritual thing on her and, surprise surprise, she dies. Now, I'm bringing this up now so that you can pick up on it later, but there's an inconsistency with how Smiley looks throughout this movie. Sometimes he looks like he does on the cover, and sometimes he looks like someone in a mask. Just keep this in mind, because it's going to be very important for the ending of the film. So, we're introduced to our main character, Ashley, who is the most sheltered human being I have ever seen in a motion picture.
Well, it's actually kind of more of like a little get together. Hey, I mean, you wouldn't want to come with, would you? Isn't it a school night? Yeah, it's college. I can do whatever I want.
Every other line out of her mouth is to show how innocent and non-internet brained she is, and unfortunately, the script makes it so unbelievable.
I think I'm high on your marijuana.
You can make characters like this work, but the script needs to be good in order to do that. And unfortunately, this one clearly isn't. Anyway, she's moving out for college and into a house with another student called Proxy. Cool name, right? Get it? Proxy? Internet? Ah! Now, I have a slight side tangent, and this just isn't important to the movie. This is just something that I was thinking about when watching it, but is moving into a massive house with one other student for college an American thing? Because in the UK, if you move out to go to university, you can obviously stay in a house share if you don't want to stay on campus, but it's usually a house share of like 5 or 6 people, not 2, and the house is usually way smaller than this. Or is this just like a rich person thing? I don't know, it just struck me as weird because students are notorious for being poor. I mean, when I was at uni, I used to get excited when toilet paper or pasta went on sale. I mean, I still do, but that's just because I'm stingy. So, Proxy seems to be a bit more internet savvy than Ashley and knows about things like 4chan and hacking.
Look, I know them, okay? I just haven't met them in person. This guy from B invited LA people to his house for a meetup. What's B? You know, the B-board on 4chan.
And I know that this is supposed to show that Ashley is super sheltered compared to other people her own age, but let's be real. If you went up to a random normal 18-year-old in 2012 and started going on about the B-board on 4chan or hacking or IP addresses, they wouldn't know what the fuck you were talking about. 4chan wasn't like Facebook or YouTube where basically everyone knew about it even if they didn't use it back then. I mean, maybe it's more well known now, but not in 2012. So Ashley not knowing about it isn't actually that weird.
What's B? You know, the B-board on 4chan. Is that like an Asian dating site? What? Oh my god, that sounded totally racist.
That was a bit racist, but this was 2012 and this is a Shane Dawson movie, so this is kind of par for the course. Proxy and Ashley go to a party hosted by people that Proxy know from 4chan, despite the fact that 4chan is anonymous, but okay. And they meet Zane.
No, I enjoy The Strange because it's interesting and often retarded. That's kind of my special research area, the intersection of the strange and retarded.
What is it with movies from 2012 and using the R slur?
At least you're not dragging around a civilian chick with a mullet looking for her retarded brother.
Or how about God? I mean, millions of people go to church and there's more evidence for chupacabra. So, is God strange or retarded?
Wow, super edgy, my guy. You really got the Christians with that one. But whatever, the man himself shows up. Mr. I did not fuck my cat himself. However, he is not well liked by the others.
What's up? I'm Bender.
Yeah, what are you doing here, pedo bear?
Don't call me that.
That's not aged well, has it? But this is one of the worst issues with this movie in my opinion. Because who the hell even remembers or finds Pedo Bear even remotely funny or impactful in 2025? It's also extra stupid because we find out later in the movie that the reason that they call him Pedo Bear is because they literally posted child porn on the B-board and he was like, guys, that's not funny or cool.
Did they send you here to mess with me? What? Well, Smiley's part of the reason they don't like me. Like when I reported the child porn they posted on B. But I don't know, I just don't think stuff like that is ever funny.
Also, yes, I know that I'm saying pedo instead of pedo, that's just how we say it over here, so bleh. But anyway, you're calling him Pedo Bear because he isn't okay with child porn. Like, what? So at the party, they do the Smiley ritual thing on the babysitter from the beginning, so we all know what happens next.
Oh, you've never seen that? I did it for the lulz. That's Smiley. Who? It's not real though, right? Well, nobody knows if it's real. It's on the internet.
Another thing about this movie that is just super weird and doesn't really make a lot of sense is that people are doing this ritual because they want to see if it's actually going to happen, and they assume that the whole Smiley thing is fake. But why? You're chatting with random people who don't necessarily know that you're planning to do the Smiley thing, So how would they have a dude at the ready to come from behind them and fake kill them for random people online? What's the likelihood that they would just be sat there waiting for someone to do the Smiley thing, or that you happened to pick the one person who was to do the ritual on? This is stupid logic. I know that Smiley being some kind of entity is hard to believe, but, you know, seeing is believing, and you guys have literally just seen him kill someone that you allegedly don't know, so... But whatever, the party continues and Ashley gets drunk for the first time and wakes up late for class the next day.
Jam up and some of the technical equipment. Thanks. Why do you think this class...
Oh no. Oh no. No, we're ignoring him. We're just ignoring him. So the scenes with the classroom have always felt really out of place for me, even when I was younger. I think they're supposed to be in a philosophy class, and the teacher, played by Robert Bart, who actually plays this character pretty well to be fair, is always talking about some kind of philosophical concept, and it's implied that whatever he talks about in these scenes is supposed to be important and linked to the story of the movie. But honestly, I have no fucking idea how. Like, this scene is just an introduction to the classroom segments and the teacher, so it's not important, but you'll see what I mean later on.
Oh, well, I was wondering whether I could get all the semester's assignments early.
Why, you leaving town?
No, I just like to be really prepared.
Are you hitting on me?
What? No.
That was weird. He's a little creepy, isn't he? Proxy and Ashley look up another Smiley video, and it's kind of weird to me that Proxy just acts like this is completely normal to do, like looking up videos of people being killed, and Ashley just doesn't really give her much pushback. Like, I know she shouted and wants to fit in, but honestly, even me as a teenager or an 18-year-old who just went to uni, I was socially awkward too, and I would be like, bro, this is fucking weird. And they even decide to try the ritual out for themselves. Is that Mr. Rapsion? Holy shit, that was a throwback.
You can't joke around though, okay? You have to really want it to happen. Yeah, okay, I want it to happen. Picture it. You have to picture it.
Wait, you have to picture it? What is this, fucking Death Note? That rule was never established in the beginning. What? They find a creepy guy and they decide to use it on him, and shockingly, it actually works. To be fair, I'd like to do this to some creepy old men as well.
If that really just happened, Smiley can't know where we are. But he saw us! I mean, he looked right at us! Know where we are.
Wait, why would they be worried about him finding them? I thought the whole point was that someone else has to send him after you with that stupid chant. They haven't ever established that he just goes after anyone he fucking feels like. This is something about the film that really bugs me as well. The rules seem to change when it comes to Smiley depending on what the plot needs. It's like it's changing the stakes to make them more prominent without the characters realizing that them assuming these things doesn't make any sense from a story perspective. Like, if they learnt this new information somehow, then that would be one thing, but they keep acting like these add-on bits of lore have just always been the case when they haven't.
Now, who can tell me what we mean by the scientific method? Mark.
It's like, you make a hypothesis.
No, that's true. Please, Mark, stop being right so often and give some of the other students a chance.
I don't want to sound like a fake intellectual here, but this is shit that I learnt when I was like 15 in science class. Why are they going over this at college?
The worst things that happen in the world are done by people who are sure that they are right. Hitler, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, Bin Laden.
Bin Laden? Oh shit, he watches the channel! So this is one example of what I mentioned earlier with the classroom. They're talking about ideology when really that has nothing to do with Smiley at all. Like, the idea of people doing things because they're convinced that they're right literally doesn't relate to anything happening in this movie. People are summoning Smiley because they can, not because they're convinced of anything or have some point to prove, other than maybe that Smiley exists. But no one seems to be contesting that really, they're all just in agreement that these videos are probably fake anyway. And Smiley himself doesn't seem to have a reason for doing what he's doing, he's just a guy that can teleport and kills people. So I don't understand what they're trying to say with this, but they're making these scenes seem like they're really important to the plot. But it seems like Ashley is wanting to know a bit more about Smiley since she, you know, had him kill somebody. And she ends up running into Shane Dawson again. Hooray!
But what about Smiley?
Well, my theories on him are kind of weird.
Why is he carrying a book about hacking in his college library? This movie is so obsessed with internet terms like hacking and IP addresses. Like, everyone knows what those things are now. You'd look like such a nerd carrying this around today, let alone back then. Buy a book about crypto, that will make you look cool.
Do you think he's real?
I don't know if Smiley's real. I mean, I think the videos are real. That probably doesn't make any sense.
No, I think I know what you mean.
Either Smiley's real or he isn't. Are they trying to imply that he's something beyond being real? I don't get this. They're really trying to make Smiley seem more deep than it is, man. But despite the fact that these two literally just watched someone die, they decide to go back to Zane's for another party. Personally, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near the guys who taught me about Smiley in the first place after what she just did, but oh well.
Hey, Ashley.
Yeah, I know. We met the other night. You wanted to have sex with me, but I wasn't into it.
What?
These guys are fucking insufferable. So Zane actually kind of believes in the Smiley stuff, and he suspects that Ashley knows more than she's letting on.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you want a bed or something?
Oh, I'm gonna go home.
You have a ride? You want a cab? Or you can sleep over.
Why is everyone trying to fuck this girl? So one hallucination / dream sequence later, and we realize as an audience that this film is not only using the premise of Candyman, but also A Nightmare on Elm Street. God, why did my voice just break then? Fucking hell. I'm becoming a real boy.
Smiley's trying to kill me! That sucks. It's like Freddy Krueger. What?
It's not exactly clear if Ashley was dreaming or not, but she woke up completely unharmed other than her ripped shirt, which is familiar, to say the least.
He chased me, and he got me, and he ripped my shirt!
This girl is a stone-cold bitch when her friend is clearly having a very prominent mental breakdown. Like, what a bitch. I know you haven't known this girl for long, but fucking hell, have some empathy. Understandably, Ashley decides to go to a psychiatrist about her mental health, and we discover that she's bipolar and she's taken lithium. I can see Ashley having mental health issues being an interesting aspect of the story. Like, hear me out. Let's say that Smiley's entire philosophy is based around nihilism, right? Like, he does what he does because he can do it, and nothing really matters, and he feeds off of that from other people. I.e., he's doing it for the lols. But then, having someone fighting with thoughts that are similar to that because of depression or a depressive episode that's caused by bipolar would be a cool dichotomy. Like trying to battle with these thoughts because life does have meaning and your actions do matter with an entity that feeds off of the opposite. Like, that would be a good premise for a horror movie. But the movie isn't intelligent enough to explore something like that, so her mental health issues don't really matter in an impactful way, and they're just supposed to imply that she's going a bit crazy.
I just remembered, at the party Zane knew. Yeah, he just called me. There's another one. Another what? Another dead person. We gotta go to Zane's.
Oh, so now she's worried about Smiley. She's the one who seems to have mental health issues, because how is her attitude changing so much about this? So we find out that Zane is like a super hacker or something.
Network security.
What's network security? He's a hacker, okay? Like LulzSec, like Anonymous, like WikiLeaks.
And it seems like Proxy was involved in some of the hacking shenanigans, but I thought that she was just a 4chan user, not a hacker accomplice. So it seems like coincidentally their friends are also coming to Smiley, despite them using anonymous websites to summon him, but whatever. And because of this, Zane is freaking the fuck out.
Who is she?
Me? Smiley's trying to kill me!
Smiley's trying to kill me now!
The girls head home, but honestly, if I were them, I'd stick together because you're less likely to be attacked if you can ensure that none of you idiots go on these anonymous chat rooms. Plus, he doesn't seem mentally stable, but Zane does also have a gun, so, you know, you guys have a bit of an advantage.
Now, what is the implication of what I just said? Yeah?
It's almost like everything that happened so we could know it happened.
What could be wrong with this idea?
It assumes we're the end.
Yes?
It assumes we're the reason when really we could just be amoebas or whatever simple forms of life were necessary for us to develop. We might be what's necessary for something else to develop.
I don't get what this class specifically is supposed to be saying in regards to the movie. They're talking about people needing to be there for something else to develop, and I'm guessing that they're implying Smiley. But how is he developing? We don't know enough about Smiley to understand what the hell this could mean. Is he growing in power, like Freddy Krueger does with fear? Is he becoming more real as he kills more people? What do you mean, movie? Why is this important? You see, I was thinking about my idea for Smiley being an entity that feeds off of nihilism, and if you throw in that he becomes stronger with every person he kills who is a nihilist because he feeds off of it, then this would kind of make sense. But it just doesn't as it is now. The movie isn't tying this in at all. Why is this in the movie and why is it depicted as important?
Are you trying to get us killed? Are you crazy?
No, I just wanted to stop.
Well, then stop trying to find out what it is, okay? You're bringing it to us.
I really don't understand where this idea that Smiley goes after people who summon him came from. It doesn't seem like it was ever established before Ashley decided to use the saying in that chat room, because I'm 100% sure that she wouldn't have done it if she knew that he would come after her beforehand. So she goes to the teacher for some kind of insight as to what to do.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Hmm?
No. What's the secret?
I keep whiskey in the filing cabinet.
That's actually pretty funny. Now, I need to glaze the fuck out of this scene for a second. Roger Bart's character is the only legitimately interesting one in this movie. He teaches philosophy in a way that almost promotes nihilism and believing that nothing really matters because he legitimately believes in that ideology. He's not just saying this stuff because he wants to be edgy like the other characters are. He actually doesn't think that anything matters, to the point where he reveals to a student that he drinks on the job and he hits on her multiple times, including in this scene, despite her easily reporting him and him potentially losing his job.
I just don't care.
And notice the language that he uses before actually propositioning her.
But I've got to be honest with you, Miss Brooks. I'm not sure exactly where this is going. No, we're a perfect planetary suicide machine. All we have to do is drive, consume, start a family. There's nothing more effective than human reproduction if you want to accelerate planetary extinction. Is that why you're here, Ashley? Do you want to do something for the lulz?
This scene, with the way that it's shot and the subtle use of phrases relating to reproduction and just doing things because you can, while clearly feeding on Ashley's clear anxieties that he doesn't understand and he doesn't care to understand, to act like a predator towards her, is just so uncomfortable. Like, I cannot stress enough how much I actually liked how creepy this scene was while watching this for this video. He's not only holding his power of being her teacher over her, but the fact that he seems confident enough to have the answers that she may want. And he's trying to manipulate her with his language. It's just so good. It is completely irrelevant to the rest of the movie, but it's a good scene. I also haven't complimented Caitlin Gerard, who plays Ashley, enough. She isn't given a script that does her any favors, but her delivery and acting is always consistent. And honestly, if the script were more diegetic and less revolved around 2012 hip slang and sayings, she would have been a lot more likable of a character. These two, put together in the scene, makes it work really well. Anyway, enough praising this movie. My standards have clearly dropped a lot since watching these films. This one scene has me freaking the fuck out.
I'm not scared. Just shut up. Shut up. Fuck you, I'm not scared of you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I love the idea of Ashley having a breakdown in the library and no teachers or staff coming over to see if they can help her.
Oh, what's happening?
Is Ashley just not gonna question why Proxy was hovering over her like a creepy weirdo, or...
Can I have some more coffee?
Oh no, Keith. They dragged you into this too! Ashley going to the police is completely pointless, since they don't believe her and they don't care to investigate something that sounds like an internet prank. However, the thing that I don't get is they claim to have had a few calls about people going missing and Smiley, but they haven't done anything about it.
You haven't found a single body?
We find bodies all the time. We just haven't found one to fit the description that you gave.
And nobody's called in about Smiley?
Oh, we've had a few calls about this Smiley character.
Like, surely you would at least have questioned the people making these calls and asked them for more information? There are missing people, even if no bodies have been found. Just because a murder may not have been committed does not mean that these people aren't missing, Keith.
Please. Please. You need to see a psychiatrist.
I am seeing a psychiatrist.
Okay, that psychiatrist line was pretty good. So Shane and Ashley are clearly getting together. And I don't really understand why Ashley likes his character, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because he's played by Shane Dawson. I mean, he's not the most psychotic person that she's met on this campus, but he is still kind of weird. Like, when she was trying to confide in him, he was acting like, ooh, you were attacked by Smiley, ooh, like he was getting off on it or something.
He tried to kill me.
What did it feel like?
What do you mean? It was horrible.
But anyway, Proxy's going away to her parents' house, and Ashley seems fine with this. I mean, if I thought Smiley was coming to kill me, I'd ask her either to stay, or I would go stay with someone who believed her like Zane. I know that he wants to fuck her, but at least he has a gun and he actually believes that Smiley could be real. She has more of a chance with him than on her own in the house. And she was so terrified earlier in the movie, but she's just fine with Proxy going away and leaving her alone? This movie is really fucking inconsistent. Well, never mind, because Zane's missing.
I'm gonna call cops. No. I'll go. No, you can't go by yourself. Vinder will come with me.
I love that she assumes that Shane's character would go with her just because he made out with her once. His life could be in danger, mate. Do not flatter yourself. She heads to Zane's, but finds that he's dead. Shocker. And she heads home. And she has the brilliant idea to not call the cops, because she called them once and the connection severed, but instead to call Smiley to her. So Proxy does just that. And oh no, there's loads of them! To be fair, if I had your acting skills, I'd try and escape this movie too. So it turns out that this was all just a massive troll! Whoa, epic troll, guys! Everything up until this point was just manipulating Ashley into thinking that Smiley was real so that she'd eventually kill herself. How cool and epic! And everyone who's allegedly been killed were in on it. The babysitter, the asshole guys, hell, even that one perv that Ashley thought that she killed. I don't know why this guy's hanging out with college students, because he looks about 40 to 50, but whatever. Also, wait a minute, if the babysitter was in on it, then why did she look around the house all scared before she was allegedly killed? That wasn't on camera. She wasn't doing that for anyone. Also, wait, how did they all know that Ashley would go to the party with Proxy when they pulled the initial prank? She could have just been antisocial and decided not to go. There were loads of times at uni where I decided not to go to parties because I was antisocial. This plan seems like it was fucking doomed from the start, to be honest. I don't know how they managed to do it.
Smiley's immortal. Smiley will be around longer than any of us. You know, he's like the pyramids or the great work of William Shakespeare. He's Chocolate Rain.
He mentions Chocolate Rain and the one black guy in the room reacts. And why have they done this and gone out of their way to drive Ashley to commit suicide?
For the lols.
And everybody clapped. We also get a cute little reveal at the end that Smiley is real. Wait, does that mean that Zane wanted her to die and imagined her dying when he typed that in as a joke? That's actually kind of funny. Well, it's been 13 years. Shane Dawson's been cancelled. Tobuscus has been cancelled. Keith David is an icon in the Has-Been Hotel community. And this movie has been shit on to death. So I'd say the chances of a sequel are questionable at best. Smiley is a massive missed opportunity. There was this weird thing with this time period where movies made by YouTubers had to be using current slang and phrases and references to appeal to kids that watch their videos. But this movie not only didn't need that, but it was rated too highly for those kids anyway, so it should have had the freedom to do whatever it wanted. But it chose to instead still try and appeal to that age group, and it honestly suffers a lot for it. I think that this is why the script is all over the place. They had a lot of things that they wanted to include in this movie and felt the need to include all of them without thinking of a tangible way to connect any of them. They really should have focused more on creating a narrative around Smiley and his legend and motives rather than focusing on the stupid shit that the characters were doing to gaslight this poor girl. With better writers and actors, this could have been a good movie. But the dated references and the need to appeal to fans of Shane and Tobuscus really held it back, and it did not age well. I cringed so much at the dialogue when I watched it, and I couldn't enjoy it, even when the movie was being competent and somewhat interesting, or even just being a dumb slasher, because I love those too. So I guess the real question here is, where am I going to put this on the tier list? Well, I thought long and hard about this, and I honestly feel the need to add a tier to the tier list. I know, shocking. But this movie did have some effort put into it, so I can't in good conscience put it in wow, you really didn't try. It isn't what I would call drunken fun, because I don't imagine it's fun to watch drunk in the same way that something like Clownado would be. And it's not so bad that it's good, because it's not quite good. But it's not so horrendous that it's funny either. So I've decided to place a new tier on the list that I call This Could Have Been Good, in between drunken fun and so bad that it's good. This tier is for movies that aren't terrible, but they frustrated me because they could have been good movies. Not even just good bad movies. And honestly, that makes them worse than the movies in So Bad It's Good's tier, because at least those movies are entertaining without me wondering what they could have been like with better equipment, cast, and writing staff. They're enjoyable just as they are. So this is where Smiley is going. I don't think I'm gonna watch Smiley again, maybe in about 10 years just to see how dated the phrases are by that point. But in terms of it being a fun, enjoyable movie, I'm probably not gonna watch it again. If anything, this movie just motivated me to write my own slasher story. If you disagree with me or you think I'm being unfair, then just let me know in the comments. Although I'm guessing that most of you are probably too old to have been this movie's demographic when it came out, so you probably haven't watched it, to be fair. Also, if you have any other bad movies in mind that you'd like for me to review, then let me know down below. Or you can tweet at me. The links to my Twitter/X and Blue Sky accounts as well as my Patreon are in the description. Which, speaking of, thank you to my patron, Rob Slide, as always, you're a real one. Thank you all for watching, and I'm bad at outros, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye!